So one of the experiences I had early on when I started taking psychedelics again as an adult was instructive, I think. Uh, I began to come on to the psychedelic, and as I did, I felt like I was going underground. Like here was the surface of the ground. And I was coming, I was going underground. And as I went under the surface of the ground, I saw these roots. And I knew that those roots were my roots, my personal psychological roots. So I said, fantastic. And I zoned in, kind of my eyes were closed and I was imagining this. And I zoned in really close to pick on my roots, to fix them. And my roots went, just like that, in my mind's eye. They recoiled from my picking touch. So I said, all right, later for you. And I kept going down. And as the roots sort of receded into the background as I was going down, I began to see at the bottom this glowing, pulsating essence that was at the bottom, the ground of my being. And as I continued to go down there and finally got there and touched it, I felt relaxed. I felt the psychic muscles had all just unfurled, the knots, that all the fears that I had about that psychedelic experience were poignant, developmental immaturities, not real fears to be feared. And with that feeling of view toward myself, I then began to come back up. And as I came back up, I saw my roots again. And this time, instead of wanting to go pick and fix, I felt complete compassion and they were okay just the way they were. And I reflected that toward them. I thought, oh, it's okay. I understand now. And my roots went, and just loosened up to experience, what was now not picking anymore. And so, that's become in some ways a model for not just psychedelic practice, but also my worldview and where I want to be on a daily basis. Do I want to be picking and fixing, or do I want to just be grounded and natural and relaxed? And I find one more adaptive than the other.